Hi Waterstone kids, my name is Maddie and I'm going to be talking about your lesson for this week, which is talking about how David served Saul in playing for Saul. So our book today is going to be 1 Samuel 16. So open up to 1 Samuel 16 is where you're going to find all the goodies. So first, to give you some background, we're going to learn that the Israelites chose Saul to be their king of Israel. So Saul was their king of Israel and brought them out from enemies. But we learn in the story that Saul was disobedient to God, and God rejected Saul as king. And later in the story, which we're going to learn about today, is that God chooses David to be the next king, which is what we're going to learn today and see how God served Saul and played music to confront him. So if you read 1 Samuel 16, we're going to learn that the Lord sent Samuel to travel to Bethlehem to go and find the king of the sons. So Samuel traveled to Bethlehem and met Jesse, which was the father of 8 sons. So Samuel asked Jesse, and he brought in each one of his sons. He had 7 that he brought to him. But Samuel finally asked him, do you have any more sons? And Jesse said that he had one more son, and his name was David. So Samuel was sent to find the anointed one from God, and that anointed one happened to be David. So turns out the anointed son was David, who was out with the sheep. So he was shepherding the sheep. So Jesse sent some people to go find David and for David to come back to Samuel and for him to meet him. And when he came back to Samuel, the Lord told Samuel that God was the Lord told Samuel that David was the anointed one and that he will be the king next. So Samuel anointed David, and the Lord was in David from then on to this day. So when we flip the page, we learn in the next section that the Spirit of the Lord left Saul. So Saul, who was the king of Israel before, the Spirit of the Lord had left him because he disobeyed God. And in Saul, he was filled with an evil spirit. And the solution to that was that Samuel was set out to find David, and David played a special instrument. And when that instrument was played, the evil spirit of Saul would leave Saul and comfort him. So the solution, they went and found David who could play that instrument. So when the spirit came onto Saul, he played that instrument, and then the evil spirit went away. So this is a direct connection to who Jesus' character is. Jesus was and is God, and he is all-powerful. And Jesus came to our level to serve and be a servant as we read through the Bible. And he died on the cross to save our sins. That was the ultimate sacrifice that he served for us. So this is a direct correlation that David, who is the next in line to be king, was still serving Saul even though he wasn't king yet. So he served Saul by playing the instrument for Saul so the evil spirit would go away. And that is exactly how Jesus wants us to live. Jesus wants us to serve him with everything that we do. And just like I said, Jesus came down to our level and served his disciples. He washed their feet and served each of the disciples. And then he finally died on the cross for our sins, which is the ultimate sacrifice and the ultimate service that he could have done. So this all connects to us to learn that Jesus served us, and Jesus wants us to do the same with our lives. He wants us to serve him by sharing our faith, by growing in our faith and serving him. And that can go all the ways of serving on Sunday mornings with kids, or doing the broadcast, all these ways that you see so many people serving the Lord through church. But that can also be sharing out your faith to your community, growing in your faith and growing in your prayer walk. So all of this story, how we learn how David served Saul, is a direct correlation to know that Jesus served his disciples, and Jesus wants us to serve him in all that we do in all of our walks of life. So I hope you have a great week, and that's all I have for today. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!